So you're probably getting ready. You're starting to move horizontally like a boss. But now you're ready to move on, and I get that. Let's do this. So you probably already recognized where we're going next. You've probably already felt it. You just don't feel like you can move up or down swiftly. Oh, I want you running like a gazelle, baby. I want you flying through Vim. I want people, when they see you, they go, ah! How's he doing that? Because you did this. You got in. You learned the commands, and now you're ready. So let's do it. Let's get vertical. All right, so today, that's all we're focused on is just moving fast vertically. All right, as of right now, you are probably doing something like holding J to go down. Ugh, look at that. You can just see it counting. Look at how long. I'm like, it's still counting, and I'm not even scrolling. You don't want to be that guy. That sucks. It's not even fun. You don't want your key repeat speed to be what limits you at moving. So let's go over the different types of moves you can do. So first off, the simplest moves is GG, to go to the top, and G, to go down to the bottom. I feel like those need no explanation. You probably know when to use those. Hey, you need to add a new import. Well, just do one of those and do whatever I don't know what you want to do. Boom. Get it. You want to go down to the bottom and I don't know, add a function? I don't know what you do at the bottom, but you do something at the bottom. Get down there with G. Next, absolute positioning. You want to just move to a specific line in a specific file. This happens like, you get an exception in your program. You go look, it's on, say, line 100. I need to jump there. :100. Enter. Line 100. Fantastic. You can also use G to do that too. Remember how we did capital G to go to the bottom? Or you can do 100G to go to the exact same line. I'd say that I prefer the colon just because I prefer the colon. You can do G. I don't care which way you do that one. They're all the same to me, right? Either you're hitting Shift G or you're hitting Shift semicolon, then you're typing in 100, or you're typing in before you do the shifting, and then it's the same thing. My what am I doing? It's the same thing, right? It's all the same thing. Same amount of keys, same ending. You do you. Next, relative moves. These are probably the more important ones. I only use the absolute movings when I have to jump to something specific that I know, with my foreknowledge, my clairvoyance. But often, when I'm editing, I just need to move somewhere. So let's just do a quick example, right? So if I wanted to go to that line that says start number 1, I'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or 11, whatever it is. And I'd want to jump there, right? So let's redo that one. Go back up here, and I can just do 12J. So what just happened there? Well, I pressed some numbers and then did a command. It will repeat the command with numbers. That's right. So you can do W to walk forward by word, or I can just do 4W, walk forward by 4 words. 6B, the old 6B, walk backwards 6 times, right? I never use numbers with words, but it's very convenient for jumping around with lines, right? If I needed to go back up and do something with the length, I could do that with a quick 12K. Nothing is smoother than those relative lines. And then you'll also notice that right here, you see that? Those are relative numbers, right? That's why I have my editor set up that way. And so can you! I found relative line numbers to be one of the harder ones to adopt, but it has been by far one of the better speed increases ever for me to adopt, because I know what I want to get to. I can get there in often 2 to 3 keystrokes. It is fantastic. Sometimes you just want to scroll downwards and you know what you're looking for by its shape. You may not know any of the words, so you can't search for it. You just know you need to go down. This happens to me from time to time, and so I often will use opening or closing squirrely braces, right? So if I go down, I can go down by doing closing squirrely braces. I can go up by doing opening squirrely braces. They jump to each empty line, right? So the things in between 2 squirrely braces is what is called a paragraph. This will be important later. So it hops by paragraph. I do like walking by paragraph, but sometimes it kind of sucks when you have a huge block of contiguous code, because you'll press down and you'll jump by 150 lines. It totally depends on the spacing, and it can go really slow or really fast. An alternative would be to do page up and page down. So you can do Control U to go up and Control D to go down, right? And this goes down by a half page. Just by simply observing my relative numbers, I know I have 22 up and 17 down Quick math puts me at 39 plus 1 in the middle. That's 40. So if I were to go down, I would assume I'd jump down by approximately 20. And as you can see, I jumped down by 20 lines. I've heard from a few people that this is one of the harder ones to adopt. Personally, when I use Control U and Control D, I actually feel a little disoriented, like I kind of lose my place in code. It seems like this one should be the most reliable one, but it just feels confusing. Why don't you tell me down below if you find this one confusing? Because I don't know why, but it's just hard for me to adopt this one. All right, the last of the vertical moves isn't really a vertical move. It's a matching move, right? So if I'm on a squirrely brace and I want to go to the other squirrely brace, I can press %. By doing that, it'll jump to whatever matching pairs, and I can just jump between them all I want. It works, of course, on parentheses, but it does not work on quotes, right? It'll just jump between the parentheses. I actually use the % more often for navigation than other things because let's say I wanted to get to the top of this function. Well, I'd have to press squirrely brace, squirrely brace, squirrely brace, squirrely brace, squirrely brace. Up, I'm at the top of the function. There we go, right? Because I couldn't see where it ends, right? I don't know where that exactly ends, so I don't know how many I'm going to press. If there's a large block of contiguous code, I could actually jump past it, right? It's an unknown amount. Often what I find is that if I just go 12 up, land onto the squirrely brace, and then press %, I get exactly where I want to be. And of course, if I'm on the other side, often all I have to do is just jump down, F2 that one, and press it. I just don't know why, but I just really like that one because it's very predictable, especially for just really long blocks of code. I love that one. So that's the vertical movements, but there's more. I kind of save these ones under the vertical side because it often is used with verticality. And these are the I's and A's. All right, so let's go over it. So say I wanted to delete the contents of this if statement, right? I just wanted to get everything inside of it out of there, right? Well, what would I do? Well, right now with your newfound knowledge, you'd hit the old Shift V. You could do 3JD. You could do D4D, right? You got a couple options. Or you can just do DI squirrely brace. Delete everything inside that squirrely brace. And remember, as I taught you about numbers, you could do D2I squirrely brace. Delete both the if statement and then the next surrounding squirrely brace, right? So this one's pretty convenient. It's pretty awesome. Of course, it works with yank, with visual, and with C. So if I just wanted to simply delete everything and jump into insert mode, CI squirrely, and I am off and running. Of course, this works with paragraphs. Remember, I told you about paragraphs, contiguous blocks of code. CIP deletes the paragraphs and puts me into an insert mode. It also works with parentheses, so I can do a little YI parenthesis, copy the insides. It also, of course, works with brackets, so you can do a little VI bracket, and you'll highlight all the insides. The difference between I and A is just like insert and append, right? If I go into insert, I am now insert mode on that character. If I do A, I'll go one afterwards. So you can imagine that if I do VA opening brace, it'll both highlight the insides plus the surrounding characters. It works the same way universally. So if I were to do DA squirrely brace, not only do I delete the contents of this constructor, but I also delete the surrounding squirrely braces. It also works at the word level, so you can do a little DI word, delete the current word that you're on. This is really convenient if you find your cursor in the middle of a word. Well, that's it. Those are the vertical moves. You now know the basic movements. You know some sweet speed optimizing insert modes and all that good stuff. You know some sweet horizontal moves that blow your mind. And now you're a vertical champion. There's only one thing left to do. And of course, that is going full Vim.